Hey everyone, this is Shakti from Around the Wicket, where we not only speak about the game, but we try to learn more about the humans behind our sport. And today it gives me great pleasure of having Delissa Kimmince on Around the Wicket. As most of us know, Delissa has been part of the successful Australian cricket squad in the World T20. She has been part of the Australian setup for over a decade now. So today we will chat more about Delissa's career. We'll try and learn about mental health, also the impressive win in the World T20 final on the 8th of March, and her time with the AFL with the Brisbane Lions. Delissa, thank you so much for joining me on Around the Wicket.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me.
So tell us what you've been doing with no cricket around. Must be good to know, however, that Cricket Australia just recently released the summer schedule. So looks like there's some good news ahead in the summer coming up.
Yeah, it's been nice. Obviously, it's disappointing that the South Africa tour was cancelled and that most sports, I guess, in general have been cancelled. But at the same time, you've got to look at the positives, and it's been really nice just to be at home and, be able to do stuff around the house that we don't usually get to do when we're in cricket season. We don't really get that much downtime here. So, yeah, I've enjoyed just floating around the house and just recovering, letting the body heal a little bit, and hopefully look forward to the season coming.
And when does the training and schedule start for you guys?
Next week. So we've got just some one-on-one stuff next week, and just until probably all the coaches get their head around the restrictions and what we can and can't do, and then hopefully the following week we'll be back to small group training. So yeah, really looking forward to that.
Excellent. Congratulations once again for the wonderful win on March 8th. In the semi-final, there were some nerve-wracking moments due to the weather and the spirited South African performance. But for it all to transpire like it did on March 8th in the final against India, it must have been an unreal feeling. Tell us more about the day.
Yeah, I think it was a massive build-up. I think a year out, even from the 8th of March, there was so much hype around it, and I guess the only question we were getting asked was about the 8th of March. And for us, we know that to get to that end date is such a hard road ahead. And we obviously had our hurdles along the way, throughout the round games and then the rain in the semi-final. But to get there on the 8th of March and just to see the people that turned out, obviously the people who watched on TV and just the support for women's cricket in general, it's still now gives me tingles just thinking about that day. And I just remember when we were singing the national anthem, just looking around, just couldn't believe that all those people were coming there to watch us play cricket. It was an unbelievable moment, I guess, even for myself, from where I started to where I am now. It was a really amazing day just for cricket in general.
What do you think will be the impact of that one day to women's cricket overall?
Yeah, I think, you could only imagine the young girls that are jumping out of their skin to get out there and play cricket and hopefully one day experience, I guess, that moment that we did. And even just, for our domestic cricket and international cricket in general, just the support that we're now receiving from around the world is unbelievable. And hopefully it continues to happen. And obviously once we get out of this uncertain time, sport can go back to normal and we can just see the people and how much they love the cricket, and hopefully that continues to grow.
You made a debut way back in 2009. For most people or for most cricketers, when they make the international debut for their country, it's a good time. But immediately after that, you said that you hated almost everything about it. Tell us about that time and how difficult that period was for you.
Yeah, I think obviously getting picked at such a young age, you have high expectations for yourself. And as I sort of went along, the expectations, I guess, got to myself, and I also put a lot of pressure on myself to perform. I just forgot to enjoy the little wins along the way. And let me tell you, in cricket, there's lots of little wins that you need to enjoy if you're going to continue to enjoy the game. And unfortunately for me, I never did that. And I guess I always looked at the negative things that really then did start to bring me down. I just fell out of love with the game and didn't enjoy it. I felt cricket become more of a chore to me than, going somewhere to enjoy being around my friends. So, it was sad to see, I guess, my cricket end like that. back in 2009, but I probably wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have those experiences.
And you took a break immediately after that. You went to the UK. How important was that period for you to get your love back for the game again?
Yeah, I guess I felt like I probably hadn't really lived. I'd been involved in, I guess, state cricket programs and rep programs since I was 13. And I got the call up when I was 18, obviously for my Australian debut. And yeah, I felt I probably hadn't lived like most kids, I guess, growing up. And I was a little bit lost in life at the time, I guess. And going over to the UK, I look back and just think, sometimes just taking those risks can be so rewarding. And I was very lucky where I ended up over there. I was living and working in a pub, but I was so lucky. The manager there had a love for cricket as well, and they encouraged me to go off and play cricket, more for a social reason back there. It wasn't overly serious. But I think the one thing it did teach me is about expectation, and I didn't have any expectations over there. I would rock up, I'd play, I'd go back to the pub, basically. And it really taught me that when you don't have the expectations, you can really play free cricket and really enjoy it. And I think that's what I found the most out of it. And when I've come back here, I've really been able to, I guess, bring those experiences back with me and just be a little bit more relaxed now and just go out there for the love of the game. And, whoever's played cricket will know that it doesn't always go your way. So when it does, you just got to enjoy those little moments, because you know that there's going to be lots of challenging times out there as well.
What you mentioned, Delissa, what an important point that you mentioned is when you start off young, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. And a lot of that pressure leads to times of confusion, to times of burnout, mental breakdowns. So mental illness has now started to come to the fore a lot more in professional sports because of athletes coming out and talking about it, and the public are starting to receive it a little bit more. How difficult are those periods, firstly, to recognize that there is an issue, and then to try and get over it?
Yeah, I think I had a little bit of depression there for a good year before I saw anyone about it. I probably knew that I had it, but didn't do anything about it. And it does get you down. Like, you do get into this big black hole and you feel like you can't get out, even though everyone says, you've got people around you that love and support you. Sometimes you probably don't believe it, and until you reach out and do, ask for help, and it's probably not until that point in time that you actually, get the advice that you need to really be able to drag yourself out of that. And I was very lucky that I had a psych at Cricket Australia that helped me out, and Michael Lloyd. He was so good to me, and I was in a really dark place there at one stage, but thankful to him and the time he gave me, I was able to get myself out of that and just enjoy. And one thing he always taught me was appreciation versus expectation, and that's been something that has really stuck with me, and just appreciating everything you're giving rather than thinking about the expectations of it.
So would you give any more advice apart from the appreciation bit to any youngsters that are coming up, taking their sport so seriously that either they stop the sport at a very young age because of the pressures of the game, or they're not enjoying the sport itself? Would there be anything else that you'd tell them?
I would just say the most important thing is to enjoy it. As you're coming through at such a young age, you've just got to enjoy the sport. If you enjoy it, like, there's obviously going to be days where you're upset or you're down about your performances, but it's how quick you can bounce back from that. The quicker you can bounce back from it, learn from those mistakes, but come out and just enjoy and be so grateful for the opportunities you get. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, you won't succeed.
Yeah. Now, talking about the Women's Big Bash, it's gone from strength to strength, and every cricketer that I've spoken to, they always talk about, it's possibly the pinnacle of T20 tournaments for the women's. You have been part of the successful Brisbane Heat for last couple of years. What has been the difference in this last 2 years as compared to the earlier years?
Probably our consistency. I think in the first few years, it was a win-lose scenario for us most seasons. And then the last 2 years has really seen us get a little bit of a roll on. I think last year we had won 7 in a row, which for us, even as a playing group, we're going, wow, we've never won that many in a row. I think the most we'd ever won was 2 or 3 in a row. So the first year we sort of were only 50% win rate. But then last year, obviously, we had a lot more consistency in what we were doing. And that, yeah, I think they are the main reasons. The first year was, we were probably lucky to get there. We played some good cricket towards the back end of that season. And then last year, I think just our consistency and belief within the group, obviously Moons was so consistent for us over the 2 seasons, but we also had players step up when we needed them to. So, it was really enjoyable to be a part of both of them.
You took up captaincy as well when the Heat was first established. How was that period for you? You've mentioned that you had some challenges. What were the biggest lessons that you learned?
Yeah, I think when I took over the captaincy, I thought it was a challenge that I was really ready for. And as the season sort of played on, I could just feel myself I was just overthinking everything. I guess I was going home and I was watching the men's Big Bash on TV. And then, I just couldn't get away from cricket. I was watching what they were doing and thinking, gosh, should I be doing that? And I just, I probably felt myself starting to burn out again. And I sort of could just feel myself going down that same path. And I knew if I didn't change something, I could have potentially walked away from the game again.
And you did change something. You delved into another sport, women's AFL, with the Brisbane Lions. How important was that period for you to refresh your mind, one thing? And what was, something that you took from the AFL that you implemented with your cricket?
Yeah, I think I was very lucky. At the end of the first WBBL season, I spoke to Andy Richards, who was our coach back then, and just said, I have to do something in the off season. Otherwise, I don't know if I'm coming back. I said, I need to go refresh. I need something different. And he agreed. He said, yeah, you go do what you need to do. And at that point in time, Kate McCarthy, who now plays for St Kilda, was playing at my local club up here in Brisbane. And she just said, come to training, come for a kick around. If you don't want to play, just train at least. And then, it's up to you sort of thing. And I've always wanted to play AFL, but my mum never really wanted me to. She was happy for me to play touch football, and that was about it. So, I went down and I loved it straight away. I think just the physical side of it, being able to tackle, bit of argy-bargy, I sort of like that. So, I really enjoyed that side of it, and just, just the running, the tackling, the kicking. It was just something completely different to cricket. So,
kept you on your toes.
Yeah, I really loved. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And just something like different people, different atmosphere. From there, obviously, I was very lucky that Craig Starcevich from the Lions contacted me, and he sort of had said what was my, plans with AFL, and I said I didn't really have any. It was more to freshen up for the cricket season, and I was very blessed back then that both organisations worked together to allow me the opportunity to play in that first year. And although I only played one game, I really did enjoy my time there at the Lions. It was just nice to be around a different group, and I guess a different organisation as they moved into more of a professional level in terms of their sport as well. So, it was nice to share some of my ideas with them, and obviously over the years they've been quite successful as well. Obviously not having won that flag, but being there at the end in most years so far.
I think that's one of the good things about living in Australia as well, is that we've got the option of playing so many different types of sports. And so, any young sports person that is coming up, they can actually choose anything that they want at any time. So thanks for, showing us or telling us more about that period. Congratulations on a personal level as well. You got engaged with your teammate, Laura Harris. You're supposed to get married soon as well. Has this period been affecting the marriage plan, or is it coming along well?
No, we have had to change the date. So, we're meant to be getting married mid-July, but obviously with restrictions and that, we thought it might be a bit touch and go. So we have moved it to August. Fingers crossed that we can get it in then. We'll just play it by ear at the moment. We've got most things planned if it does go ahead, which is nice. But obviously, if we were to reschedule it again, I'm not really sure when we could have it. Just obviously it's going into then the cricket season. So, yeah, fingers crossed that everything goes well and restrictions go down and we're right to go.
Massive congratulations, regardless of it. You've had a roller coaster of career in terms of emotions and mentality. You've been very honest about it. I guess for you, Delissa, what's your plans moving forward? Not just for your state team and Australian team, but on a personal level as well.
Yeah, it's obviously to try and keep performing, at state level, Big Bash, and at the Australian level when I can. I've obviously been in and out of the Australian side a number of times, and this is my third go at it. I'm pretty sure if I got dropped again, I'm not getting a fourth crack at it. So for me, it's just about, I've probably got a good understanding of my game now, and for every chance I get, it's just to go out there and to enjoy it. Like I said, some days it works, some days it doesn't. I haven't really put a time frame on anything. Obviously, I've got some niggling injuries that aren't disappearing. So, which is frustrating, but I guess that's part and parcel of playing the game from such a young age. But, we'll just see what happens. And, it's probably just be a year-to-year thing for me from now on.
Well, that's about sums up the formal part. I've got some rapid-fire questions, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, hit me.
In international cricket, or even domestic cricket, who's the best batter you have bowled to?
The best batter's hard, but the one that I find quite challenging is Chamari Adapadu. I think she's hit me for more sixes than I've bowled dot balls to her. So, she'd definitely be one of the most challenging to bowl to.
And in terms of, your batting is underestimated. I've noted that you've only been dismissed once in your one-day career, wasn't it? With an average of 79. So who's the most difficult bowler that you've faced?
Can you pass that information on to Matthew Mott, please?
I will. Lucy's here, I think, in the chat, so we can ask Lucy to do so.
Most difficult bowler. Oh, well, let me tell you, I haven't really batted that much, but I'm going to say Poonam from India.
Yep.
She's obviously quite difficult the way she takes her pace off the ball, and she bowls that outside off. So, she'd probably be, just to get away in general, I think she would be the most difficult.
Excellent. So, who's your funniest teammate?
Funniest teammate, Shooter.
Megan Shooter. 3 people you would like to invite for dinner?
In my team or just in general?
Anyone.
Oh, Luke Coombs, country singer. Benny Sawyer, only because he loves him too. So we just get a concert going on there. And probably Ricky Ponting.
Nice.
I hope he likes country music.
We'll check with Ricky. Best wicket you have taken in international cricket?
Oh, you're hitting me with some hard questions here. I've got to try and think who I've got.
One you've possibly felt, this is the best day of my life.
I think anytime I can get Danny Wyatt out.
I actually had
they're always a good one.
Yeah, I had Danny Wyatt a week ago. So I'll let her know.
I think she's, let her know for me, please.
Of course. What's the best sledge you have received?
Oh, I've never received one.
Oh, that's nice.
No, that is very nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's actually the best sledge you've received. Nothing.
Yeah.
A place that you would like to visit once things resume to normal?
I'd just like to go back to the beach, which we probably can now, but nice, relaxing.
And one final question. Who was your inspiration growing up?
I'd have to say my dad. Just with what he did to me, driving me to Brisbane 2 times a week for 6 years. He worked a job that he was up at 4 a.m. He was my cricket coach. He was my chauffeur. He was my dad. And it's probably not until you get a little bit older and you have to do all the running around for yourself, you don't realise how much
that's true.
Time and effort it takes. So, when I look back, Dad did so much for me. So, truly grateful.
Thank you so much, Delissa, for your time on a Friday afternoon. I appreciate it. Thanks, Lucy, as well, for organizing this for us. I appreciate the honesty that you spoke with. Hopefully, all the best for the Australian cricket summer, and I'm pretty sure I'll be looking forward to it, and watching you guys take on India firstly in international cricket, and the WBBL starting as soon as we can. Thank you once again. You have an enjoyable weekend.
You too, mate. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. Thanks, Delissa.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Bye.